Hello, beautiful people. How are you feeling today? I hope you beautiful people are having a good day, beautiful people. What I wanted to touch bases on with you, beautiful people, today, and what I wanted to share with you, beautiful people, that's been on my mind, beautiful people. So it's meant for me to share it. Um, some of you beautiful people will receive it, and some of you beautiful people won't because that's just the way. You know, that's just what happens when a segregation of the mind has become segregated, you know, uh, um, with a lot of occurrences, you know, things that were created to keep things going, so that you would actually think that way. It's designed to make you feel comfortable with laying your head in the lap of the enemy while he's stroking your head, telling you everything's going to be all right. Don't worry. I got you. You know, beautiful people. With regard to you know, um, the Willie Lynch mind control. He came down from Britain with these mind control kits, to control the minds, as I stated before, of the slaves. And it spread it abroad. They saw how that they could become successful in business by controlling the minds of the so-called and alleged weak, or people who would just see into the vision of their ideology, the ideal the ideal way of thinking, beautiful people. And then there is the Jim Crow segregation, beautiful people. And it's also designed to segregate the mind, beautiful people. That's the purpose for which it consists of. And it existed for that very purpose, is to control the mind, the thinking, beautiful people. And a lot of us, or a lot of people, have been have been abrased by that, have been affected by that, have bought into that way of thinking. Segregation. They segregate you, the old divide and conquer tactics, to segregate you by colors, and nationalities. Well, with me, there is no colors and there are no nationalities. Love don't know any colors, and love does not know any nationalities, beautiful people. Well, a lot of you beautiful people, still wear masks, to keep the enemy out, and when we search for the enemy, you know, um, we're trained to think in terms of searching for the enemy far and wide when the enemy is right next to you. He's up close with you. You think you're keeping the enemy out, but he's right there. He has always been there all along. When you invite all this stuff into your house, Siri and all that kind of stuff, that's just the government monitoring you, and all that kind of stuff, with the masses, as I was stating. There was talks in the news and indirectly for years, because they really didn't want it to get out, about how cell phones cause cancer and how people were dying from the radiation from cell phones. Even, the police officers were complaining, how, when they sit on the side of the road, and use, their tractor guns, their radiation guns, to track how fast you're going. They were concerned that the level of radiation coming from that, how it would affect their lives and their health. Well, you're surrounded by radiation, all electronics, your x-ray machines, your microwaves, you're surrounded by radiation. It's just a matter of what level of form of radiation it is. People were already dying from 2G and 4G. Johnny Cochran died from brain cancer from the cell phones. And other wives did infomercials on their husbands who were lawyers who died from brain cancer from cell phones. Well, when the 5G phone came out, they did not know how unstable it was going to be, and they knew that they were not going to have any control over it whatsoever. And they did not know releasing it, to create a higher form of control and a more lucrative, you know, operation and functionality of business. They knew that it would be unstable. They didn't know how unstable. So they told the world that it would be. That's what it is. They all agreed. You know, they all agreed. One mind, one body to think with. They all agreed, and they all bought into it, and everybody bought into it. Beautiful people, and everybody bought into it and started wearing masks. Beautiful people, and you didn't know, beautiful people, but that's why it's important to think for yourself. But 5G was just a higher form of uncontrollable radiation. That's why they think of you as the cattle. And what do you do with cattle? You steer them along. Because what does cattle do? They follow the direction of the steerer. Beautiful people. And they highly publicize it, and they made it look really, 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 really true and real, and with Fauci and all these other fake people. Beautiful people. And people bought into it, and they thought that, they actually believed that from this alleged so-called, virus, it's, the reason why, they were dying, and a lot of the beautiful people out there, got vaccinated, and they believed that, and they tell you even after you got vaccinated, you still had to, wear masks and different things of that nature. Excuse me, because they were concerned about you suing them. Well, beautiful people, I've never been vaccinated, and and I'm not going to get vaccinated, and I'm doing just fine. I always have been doing just fine. My health is just fine. Beautiful people, because I understand. I'm just not going to go buy a 5G phone, because if you do, then you have the enemy right there with you. He's right next to you. He's right there with you. And what you invest in is a part of what has really been going on that you don't realize or that you haven't taken note of. Well, I refuse to buy a 5G phone. And if, in the future, upgrade says that I can no longer use my phone, until I upgrade, then I just won't have a phone, because I have values, I have principles and I have standards, and I will not be brought under the power of any. And that's what this system is designed to do. And this is what it's designed, for, the outcome to, is to control your way of thinking and your way of living. And I refuse to allow someone to have that kind of power over me when I can see, that something is not real. Well, beautiful people, if you do your research, beautiful people, you'll find that people have been dying for a long time from 2G and 4G from radiation. But they're not going to tell you that or highly publicize that, because then you beautiful people will stop buying electronics and cell phones. And they make billions of dollars annually off of that. And they're not going to allow that to cease. And the mind control of cell phones and how they control you, how they're able to track you. Beautiful people. You see, they couldn't take away, the freedom of America. They have been trying to figure out for a long time, how could they do it? Board meetings, they sat around the table trying to figure this stuff out. And they couldn't figure it out. And they came up with this idea, with the cell phones. Oh, we know how we'll do it. Since people are so nosy and they love gossiping and being in other people's business, we'll let them do it for us, and we'll just jump on the bandwagon. We'll just jump on the back end. We'll create a lot of chaos, mayhem and chaos in society and in the communities, and we'll make them feel reliant and dependent upon us. To put up cameras and surveillance cameras everywhere, because we have our own hidden agenda, but we'll make them think it's for their own safety. So they gave everybody a phone with a camera and said, now go to work. Go to work and invade on each other's privacy and record everything that's going on. You can be our eyes for us. And beautiful people, that's exactly what we did, beautiful people. And I just went over. Beautiful people, that's exactly what we did, beautiful people. We got to do a better job of thinking for ourselves, beautiful people. To all you beautiful people out there in the world, beautiful people, I love you all and have a smiling day.